That is Cascade Mountain in the distance there. Now, that's the highest peak in the valley. That's 2,991 meters above sea level. To the left of it, yeah, Donnie, he did. He jumped on the bus. To the left of it is this lovely building. It's a log cabin there. That's where the mine owners used to live. It's actually what you'd call in the UK called a listed building, historic protected building. We don't have a lot of them here. But it's also, this is an artist community through here. I love to show Canmore off. So this is the South, hey, how's it going? The South Canmore Community Art Project here. And it's actually survived winter. You did, Ruth. We did see a wedding. We've seen so many weddings down through here. A huge number of weddings happen in Canmore because it's all outdoors. But I'm ready. I really want to share. This is sort of the most famous view. And if you've even seen on my To Me Travel Facebook, it's from here, except the river is a deep turquoise in the summertime through here. And of course, it doesn't have turquoise now. It doesn't have its distinct color. But the three sisters, there they are, up in the distance. Two of the three of them are climbable without ropes. And the middle one, you need ropes to climb. We're looking east. We're looking into Kananaskis country. And that is just the great scene. And in fact, when you go into the famous hotel, the Chateau Lake Louise, out of Lake Louise, that is actually the painting that is in the middle when you come in. So that's how seriously we take this image. We refer to this valley as a saddle. You know, it's a big, wide saddle. Now, obviously, I live very much wedged up on the side of a mountain in Banff. Canmore here, it's wider, although where Finn grew up, incidentally, was up in the distance, up around there. And a great place, beautiful place to live. However, this time of year, you're in a shadow by about 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, because of these huge mountains. Now, there's the pass that leads up to the Spray Valley. That's into Kananaskis country. That's where they filmed Brokeback Mountain. And then up in the pass, the back there is where the Canmore Nordic Center is, the Olympic Training Center. Thank you both. The Olympic Training Center. And we have teams from all over the world training very hard now because, of course, we're leading up to the Olympics in Beijing. Awfully contentious politically at the moment, but the athletes, of course, don't want the games canceled. You might notice a bridge out in the distance there. If you can see that bridge, that's a train bridge. There's no trains on it anymore, and that goes back to mining as well. Now, we're thanks, Anna Marie. No, not very far from the town center, although it's still a ways down. But I don't also want to steal these views from you too much. Now, you're still seeing the smoke from the prescribed burn. So that is Mount Lady MacDonald up there, named after Agnes MacDonald, the wife of the first Prime Minister, John A. MacDonald, who, frankly, wasn't all in all that nice a person. I think he's impressive, but I wouldn't say he's all that nice. When we talk about the watershed, we're actually in a bit of a floodplain out here. And when we talk about the Bow River that we're just looking at, honestly, feel free to take a postcard and read about this. People come down on drift boats. When my dad was still with us, we would go drift boat fishing, fly fishing. You catch, of course, brown trout, rainbow trout, but also we will catch the char or the bull trout, which is the native fish to the area. They're a beautiful fish. They're an aggressive fish, and so it means they're actually easy to catch, which is too bad. So we're going to go over. There we are. Thanks, everyone. People stop for us, like the parting of the waters. Thanks, Wendy. Now, I can do here in the greater area of Canmore, we're up around 50 kilometers of trails. You know, it's interesting. Some friends who I'm doing some work with, some academic work out on Vancouver Island, but one of them lived here for years and said, and I love this quote, they say, most parts of the world, if you do a 100-kilometer bike ride, that's an event. Here, it's a warm-up. And you will notice there's a power station way in the distance down there. Now, they've dammed up into the valley, up into the Spray Valley. And by damming that, it's a green community. And of course, because we don't have salmon on the east slope, you're not actually affecting the ecosystem terribly. So that's awfully nice to have. Just makes it a healthier place. So, bye. Thanks, Ray. Now it's fun. It's chilly out today, but now you are looking straight down. It's so interesting because whenever I'm in Banff, particularly where I live and from the town site, we look at the side of Mount Rundle. Now remember, these mountains, and you're looking at the formation of the mountains, all the Canadian Rockies always, always, always push from west to east. And so next time you join me in Banff, I'll be on the other side of that mountain and you'll see the west facing slopes. You're looking now at the east facing slope. Looks like a totally different mountain range. But let's do a little bit more geology just for kicks. So peak out here, and then there's that hole, and then a peak and another hole. Those are all cirque formations. If you happen to be, it's so different, absolutely right. If you happen to be from Wales, you might call it a hanging valley. But those are carved by glaciation. Now we have no glaciers right here anymore, but the closest glaciers are about, from Canmore, a 45-minute drive, from Banff, a 30-minute drive out towards Lake Louise. So, we're still living around glaciation. Now, it is interesting. These are the bear-proof bins that you still have everywhere else because the bears can't get their paws up into this formation to open the doors. And you live with bears, you live with all the animals right here. But of course, the administration's a little different because you're not in a national park. And so a lot of this is run. Oh, so hey, guys, nice. We've got the Icelanders back on. It's lovely to see you here. And so it's administrated by the Alberta parks. And again, I don't want to get into the boring technical sides of provincial administration in this country. But nevertheless, Alberta, of course, is about twice the size of Germany. We're 4.5 million people. Here you go, though, if you want to take a gorgeous view. Canmore has a new mayor after the last elections, as does Banff. But you see all the different peaks here. And there's Halling Peak and Egane Nakota. And so, again, the Stony Nakota people are just down the road. So I'm already quickly running out of time. So I'm not going to keep going down this way. But hopefully for those of you who are new to this environment, as I say, I'm sorry I didn't have my tour on time earlier. This gimbal is working just fine now when I recalibrated it. But where I was going to be last time, you might see some mist right there. That is snow making. And even though we've had huge snowfalls lately, that is up at the Nordic Center. That's where the Olympic training is, and that's where the biathlon